Well, we're gonna make this real short and sweet. Bottom line is rear end blew up. I'm rebuilding it, putting a new set of gears in it, another competition set of gears in it. These supposed to be straight cut gears, so they're gonna whine a little bit. Um, I did go with a different gear ratio, so I'm getting this car race ready right now. Racing season coming up. I'm still gonna drive it on the street, but when racing season come up, my car turns into a race car. My car is no longer a street car when race season comes up. So y'all gonna see the car like this for a few weeks. Interior out, no headliner. Matter of fact, I might not ever put that back up there. Um, my purge and my purge through the motor that goes up there. Everything y'all see in the car right now, my car goes into race car mode. My car does not leave race car mode till racing is done and over with. Um, this weekend coming up, we got a index we trying to run. Um, I'm thinking about going for the 580 index, but I know I could probably kill people in the 70 index. 580 index, I do have to run my car on a 200 shot, and that's a lot. And plus, I only have 2 bottles, and I'm gonna run through those 2 bottles so quick in the 580 index. So the 70 index, I can run that on motor with the shittiest tune up that I have. Um, so like I said, we're gonna do the 70 index, a shitty tune up, race gas. I'm about to put another fuel pump on it. Uh, I was gonna drop the tank, but I'm not gonna drop the tank. Only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just turn the fuel pump on. I'm gonna pump all the old gas out, put it inside of a can, and we also gonna drain all the coolant out the car. We're gonna fill the car up with water. Uh, this car's going into race car mode. Like I said, whenever my car goes into this mode, it don't leave this mode till racing season is done, over with, or until I just get tired of racing this particular car. So y'all are gonna see it like this for a minute. Some people may not like the way it is. Some people may. It just depends. And since I put this car, since I started posting this car back on social media, Facebook, Instagram, the car has been blowing up again. So everybody already knows the car. I do post on YouTube. I still am gonna post on it regardless. But my car is more known on platforms like Instagram, Facebook. My car is more known on those platforms than what it is on this platform, which is YouTube. But with that being said, race car mode is happening. Passenger seat is out. All that back liner, all that back carpet that I run on my car, all that is out of it. My door panels are off. My nitrous bottle going back in there. I'm just getting it filled up currently. Um, let's see here. I might end up changing the shifter since it's race season. I might end up changing that. Mirrors, windows. These things are locked in on full up. Both of them are locked in up. Sometimes I must take my mirrors off when I go race car mode. Uh, Steering wheel stays the same regardless. My button, I'm actually hooking my button back up to it. Radio coming out. Couple other things coming out. Don't worry about all my tools. I'm still working inside the car, trying to get it exactly how I want it. But we're gonna go to exactly what people wanted to see. Oh, and I gotta take the inner fenders out probably. Oh, we're gonna do a shock change as well, so I'm gonna take my street shocks off of it. Put my adjustables on it, and a roll bar back on the car. There's no rear end back here. No, no rear end. So, how's the car gonna go to the track by Saturday? Well, I'm a very, very fast worker. I do not procrastinate, bullshit, none of that. So, this thing will be back together Saturday or Friday night. If I have to pull an all nighter, I will. I just got off of Summit, getting all my parts overnighted to me, getting the girdle and wheel studs. I gotta drill out the axles, but I'm putting wheel studs on, all the good stuff. And like I said, we going index racing, so index racing, you want your car to be at 100%. Let's go talk about this rear end. GM 7.5. Yes, I know the welds are shitty. I had no time to pull out the mixer and do all the extra stuff. I didn't even heat up the housing. Only thing I did was just heat up that for a minute, get some heat in it. They sit on there just perfectly fine. Next thing, carrier's empty. There's nothing inside of here. Getting a new race to go in here. Pinion bearing. Like I said, I changed gear ratios. That's the old one. This is the new one. Big change, obviously. The the ring gear is already on the carrier. The pinion gear just has to get installed. And solid crush sleeve on it with all the proper shims. And I gotta get another bearing because this is, of course, the wrong one. So, you know, something had to go wrong. So that's on there. And like I said, this is a crush sleeve eliminator. So this is a crush sleeve eliminator. Basically a solid block of metal. And as you see, crush sleeve, you gotta crush it to a certain point. Then once you crush it too much, then it's pretty much junk at that point. But spending money on this is like $21 and it comes with shims. Don't be a cheap ass. 21 bucks. I mean, you act like you can't spare that. I'm not gonna do new bearings on here because bearings are previously replaced. When I took it apart and I put highway gears in the car. Like I said, I'm taking highway gears back out of it for various reasons. One of them being that I'm racing the car right now. Now a lot of people say the 7.5 won't hold up to any power. You can't put any power through it. This and that. Well, my car with the considerable amount of nitrous that I want to run on it, my car will be nearing 700 horsepower. And I guarantee this rear end will hold up to that power level pretty easily. Now, does this mean the 8.8 is not going in my car? No, that does not mean that. My car is still going to get the Ford 8.8 put in it regardless. I just want to get more stuff done to the 8.8. So if I want to step the car up to a 1500 horsepower capable level, I know I'm good on the rear end, and I know I'm definitely good on the transmission department. The only thing I would need is either a bigger inch motor or put internals in my current motor, which I mean I don't really think I want to do that to a 5.3 liter. At that point, we either be going big block or we definitely go with a 6 liter block and a 408, and a couple other things. But bearings, outer axle tube bearings, axle bearings, whatever you want to call it, those are fine on it. These inner bearings are fine on it as well. Seals look excellent on it. Um, a lot of other things. Danny, is that the factory rear? Yes, this is the factory 7.5-inch rear end. And I will show y'all what all has to be done, because a lot of people think it ain't possible for 7.5 to hold up decent power. I'm giving you the recipe, and you can put axles in it if you want to. I'm not gonna put axles in it, at least not right now. I'm not. And if I do put axles in it, I'll tell y'all who makes the best axles for this. It's not Mosier, my bad. It's not Mosier. It's not Strange. It's a Circle Track company. They make the best axles for this rear end. Some of the best recipes for these rear ends comes from the Circle Track guys. And these rear ends will hold up to considerable amount of power if you have some money to throw at them. Now, people sit up here and argue with me all day that that by the time I upgrade this, it will cost the same as me upgrading the 8.8. And the honest opinion of that to me is no, it will not. Uh, Now, if you take this to a shop, then yeah, it probably would. But I know I'm building it. I know what I'm doing. I'm putting in the parts that I want in it. So therefore, I know it'll hold up. Point blank, simple as that. Uh, Now, am I gonna stick with the drums? I'm thinking about it. I bought a whole new kit for it. As y'all see, got pads on it, adjustment sleeve. It has everything on it. Am I gonna keep them? I don't know. It's already apart or together pretty much. I just gotta put this spring on, and from here to here it's a spring, and then from here to here it's a spring, and then I'll have working brakes again. Uh, but there's nothing wrong with drum brakes. You just gotta set them up right. Ain't no stop on the dime. Uh, I'm giving y'all the recipe to a 7.5 inch rear end. Competition set of gears. Don't cheap out on your gears, because when you cheap out on your gears, that's when you have a problem. The biggest problem is the ring gear. You don't want your ring gear. Hold on. You don't want your ring gear getting too thin or anything like that. So your ring gear, you always want to keep a nice, good built ring gear. Don't go into some cheap ring gear just because you see it on sale. Usually the best ones who make the best ring gear, Strange, Mosier. I mostly only buy from Strange. Mosier has their pros and their cons, but when you weigh it out, Strange has the most pros over cons. So I'd stick with Strange because they're proven. I've used them. I have no problem with them. And like I said, get a Temkin bearing. Temkin makes the best ring gear, pinion gear, carrier, everything. Temkin makes the best bearings, hands down. I don't want to hear any counter arguments or anything. Temkin makes the best bearings for your rear end, hands down. There are 3,000 horsepower pro mods using this Temkin bearing. Uh, Insane pro mods use a Temkin bearing. Funny cars use a Temkin bearing. So for anybody who wants to go out there and say Temkin bearings aren't good, Temkin bearings, they are the best on the market, hands down, and they are the best bang for buck. Because you'll see everybody say go buy the most expensive one you can find. These bearings are like $20. The races inside of here are like $5. Temkin, like I said, best bang for buck, and quite honestly, they're the best out there on the planet as far as I'm concerned. Now, the GM 7.5, if you just want to be ready in the event that it breaks a ring gear, I doubt a pinion gear will go out, but in case a ring gear does go out, keep a spare ring gear. Those things are, once you buy a pinion gear set, you can pretty much buy a ring gear as you want it. Now, that's going to be your main problem. Your ring gear, sometimes your pinion gear, most of your ring gear. And to solve that problem, to combat that problem, I'm going to torque these down even more than what factory allows. So factory, I think, is like 45 foot-pounds. I'm going to go like 55, almost 60 foot-pounds on here. I don't want that thing deflecting whatsoever. I have a cover that's going to go on here. That cover, I think that thing wants inch-pounds. We're going to give it foot-pounds. Much pressure on those mains as possible, the longer this thing will live. Um, let's see here. Everything else in these rear ends are pretty much strong. The housing themselves are decently strong. You can brace up the axle tubes if you so desire. Here to that, to the pumpkin they call it. So you can brace up to the pumpkin if you really wanted to. I don't think I'm gonna do that. And for me personally, I'm gonna end up putting an anti-roll bar on here, depending on how long it lives. Even though I'm pretty sure it'll live for a decent little while. So we'll end up putting a different setup on the top here for any roll bar. What's going on, Schaefer? So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But you know, Like I said, I'm giving y'all a proven setup on a 7.5-inch rear end. Uh, I know a lot of us are into G bodies and uh, B bodies. I think they consider a Caprice, which is a box Chevy. And if you really want to compare apples to apples, a box Chevy is technically a G body. But I digress. How hard is it to put a pinning gear in your driveway? Man, that's a easy job. Easy job. You take that yoke off, which let me grab the yoke. Yoke's sitting down there. But once you take that yoke off with your impact, buzz it off with the impact, and get you a hammer. Get you a hammer and a chisel. Sit it inside of that little opening, because on the factory, the opening is like that. Sit in that opening, hit it out with a hammer. It comes right out in your hand. Now, the harder thing for it will be taking this bearing off, which that's why I obviously bought a new bearing, and plus I felt like I needed a new bearing, so we should be good there. Once the new bearing comes in, if the new bearing doesn't come in, I'll end up go renting a puller, and I'll pull this off and I'll install it onto here, because I need this car to be done by Saturday. Like I said, we got to be at the track Saturday, so that's what we'll do. Worst come worst, that other one does not fit. Avalanche is stuff surrounding the rear end, but once you pull that drive shaft off and you know pull that yoke off, you should be good. But I'm gonna get back to y'all probably tomorrow. I might do a live later on tonight. It just depends. But